Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, last time we completed the 8th chapter. So any questions, clarifications on that before we start the ninth one? Okay.
Swamiji, I have.
Yeah, shoot.
But not based on the 8th chapter, but based on your recent talk on Shivaratri, just a clarification. So you mentioned that bhakti is an emotional response to one's understanding of Ishvara.
Yeah.
So, for example, in chapter when Krishna talks about the Sthita Prajna Lakshana,
Yeah.
can we take that as the expression of bhakti by a jnani, like that is what is the...
Yeah, in a way you can take it, in a way. Not completely, but in a way, yeah. Ramji. So that is fair enough, yeah. Because there's always be some emotion that has to come up. Thinking causes feelings. We all heard that, your feelings cloud your thinking. Maybe it does. But where did the feeling come up in the first place? Yeah. Certain thought patterns, belief systems, more than one. Okay. The belief systems also cause it. All that is part of the game.
And is there a reason why the asuras don't pray to Lord Vishnu? And it's only Shiva or Brahma. Is there any reason why?
I'm not too sure. Yeah. Probably because they are trying to change the existing nature of creation, whereas Vishnu is supposed to sustain it. So maybe that could be one reason. And again, Shiva is supposed to be Ashutoshaha, easy to please. So words like Ashutosh, Paritoshaha, all that is used for Shiva, easy to please. So maybe that's another reason.
Bholenath, no, jaise.
Yeah, Bholenath, because there is a certain innocence about him. Yeah. You do the tapas, you'll get the phalam. Okay, theek hai.
Close to his drum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so now. Yeah.
कर दिया सर पहले आपको वही
The 9th chapter. Okay. Called Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. Okay. How will you translate Rajavidya?
royal secret.
If it becomes royal secret, it will become either things to do with governance. So what do you call information gathering, the knowledge of the spies, or knowledge of ruling, and in today's world it can also mean Epstein files. To distract from them, the whole the Iran war has started.
Is it politics?
It has become politics then, Rajavidya. So normally that is because we are taking it as Rajanam Vidya, knowledge of the kings. No. Vidyanam Madhye Rajaha. Among the knowledge is the king. Sagar said that. Among the knowledge, it is considered the king of knowledge. Why king of knowledge? Everything keeps you in samsara. Every knowledge that you learn, from physics to medicine to economics to psychology to whatever you learn, all of them keep samsara going. All of them keep samsara going. Whereas this knowledge frees you from samsara. All knowledges are meant to manage samsara, including the first portion of the Veda, all rituals, etc. Whereas this knowledge frees you from the whole question of samsara. And therefore, Vidyana Madhye Rajaha, the king among the knowledges, okay? The king of all knowledge, Raja Vidya. It's also called Rajaguhyam. Same translation. Okay? Not a royal secret. Royal secret again will be state secrets. Okay? Classified information. No. Guhyana Madhye Rajaha. Among the secrets, this is the king. There are some secrets that you can hunt out. Many secrets you can hunt out. The whole information system is based on that. Science investigation is based on that. Espionage is based on that. That you can find out, dig out secrets. Most of them you can figure it out. You can. Okay. A good secret is something that has to be told. Without telling, you can't get it. Somebody has to tell you that. To illustrate this, my teacher used to tell a story, nice story. Okay, Delhi to Chennai, Grand Trunk Express. Okay, train those days. First class coupe, 2 people are traveling. Okay, one is a rich businessman. Other is a youngster. So, when the businessman has entered first, the youngster comes in later. He finds the businessman is counting bundles of 2 big bundles of currency. The youngster cannot help staring at it. He has not seen so much of money in his life. Okay. There are 2 nights. I will handle that. So, after dinner, night falls. The only time people go to sleep early is when they are traveling by train. Okay. The businessman goes to the bathroom, comes back. Then the youngster comes back. At the time he comes back, the businessman has already gone to sleep. The youngster looks all over. Kidhar hai? Where is he kept that money? He looks, doesn't find it. After 2 hours, 3 hours, he says, forget it. Next night, I'll see. I'll observe him better. And he goes to sleep. So next morning they get up. The businessman gets up earlier. He goes to the bathroom, comes back. The youngster goes to the bathroom, comes back. The businessman is counting his money, checking whether everything is there. Then says, okay, I still have 1 night tonight. So they're chatting this, that, everything is normal. Night comes, dinner is over. Again the businessman goes to the toilet, comes back. Youngster goes to the toilet, comes back. So the youngster thinks, guy went to the toilet before. Yesterday I searched all over the cabin, nothing. Maybe he has hidden it in the toilet. So he goes and literally panel, this, that, everything he moves to see. Nothing there. Comes back here, nothing. He can't find it at all. Dejected, disappointed, he goes to sleep. The next morning, same story. He goes to brush his teeth and comes back, businessman is counting. Now he's so desperate to know. He says, where did you keep it? Openly now. So the guy says, I know my travel companion well. He says, okay, that's fine, but where did you keep it? He says, when you went to the toilet, yeah, I hid it under your pillow. The last place you are going to look, I'm seeking that money. Am I going to think it is already with me? Same way. We are looking for the truth. All over. घर भी छोड़ा, सब गया, आश्रम गया, went to Rishikesh, went to the Himalayas. All that for what? To know yourself. Never am I going to suspect that the fullness I seek is myself. No person who's running around trying to get a lot of things in the world, success, name, fame, etc., whatever, he is not going to think that the fullness that you seek, the satisfaction that you seek, the ananda that you seek is yourself. And therefore it has to be revealed. Without revealing, you are not going to get it. With the elaborate teaching, people don't get it. With elaborate teaching, people struggle to get it. Then how are you going to get it by yourself without that? Therefore, Rajavidya, Rajagukhyam, among the secrets is the king. Because unless a sampradaya with Acharya reveals it to you, you are not going to get it. Even if you read, you won't get it. Unless you have had some exposure to a traditional teacher, then you can. Okay. After that, you can supplement with reading and things like that. So this is the chapter. Okay, Rajavidya, Rajagukhyam. That we will start. Okay. Yeah. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Tute Gukhyatamam Pravakshyami Anasuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yat Jnatva Mokshase Yeshvat. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sri Krishna starts without waiting for a question from Arjuna. You see? Idam tu, whereas now, idam, this, te gukhyatam, idam gukhyatamam, te pravikshyami, as revealed this greatest secret to you. Akshyami, anasuyave. Okay? Who doesn't have any negativities in them? Asuya. Asuya is the jealousy, this, that, etc. that happens. You can't stand other people's success. That's jealousy. Therefore, you are not someone like that. You will facilitate people's success. Okay? And what is it? Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. Now, either word Jnanam Vijnanam is enough for this knowledge. Both mean the same thing. But when they are both used together, Jnanam is what you heard. Jnanam is what you have heard from the teacher. Okay? And Vijnanam is what you have validated. Because each one of us has to validate this knowledge. What do I mean by validating? Understand it as fact. So how do I put that? Okay. In the beginning, I am Brahman because the Shastra says so. Correct? How do you say you are Brahman? The Shastra is saying that. Later on, you will say, the Shastra is saying I am Brahman because I happen to be Brahman. I know that. If you are not Brahman, will the Shastra tell it to you? So it is clear to me I am Brahman. Therefore, whatever the Shastra has said, I have validated it in my life. Therefore, Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. And what is necessary to validate all that also will come into the picture. Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. Yat Jnatva, knowing which, Ashubhat Mokshase, from all the thing that is not good for you. Ashubham, sense of finitude, grief, etc., 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 limitations, all that. Not from the dust pollution of the road, okay? That is different. From your existential issues, Ashubha Mokshase, you will get freedom from that. Okay, great. Then what? Rajavidya Rajagukhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pravakshavi avagamam dharmyam susukham kartam avyayam. Rajavidya Rajagukhyam, which we have seen the meaning already. Okay? Vidyana Madhye Rajaha. King among all the knowledges, for the simple reason that other knowledge keeps you in samsara, this frees you from samsara. Therefore, Rajavidya. Rajagukhyam. Among the secrets, it is a king. Because unless someone reveals it, you will not know it. Unless someone reveals, you will not know. That is the whole thing. Okay? So there is the whole thing. Unless revealed, you will not know. Therefore, Raja Gukhyam. Not only just mere revealing, mere telling. It has to be elaborately explained, etc. Okay? Taught. Okay. Therefore, Pavitram idam uttamam. It's the greatest purifier, he says. Greatest purifier? What do you mean purifier? See, I feel I have done something wrong. Objectively. Prayaschitta karma is available. ठीक है. That is meant for a particular wrong karma that you have done. No? This frees you from the whole bunch of it. All the wrongdoings, etc., etc., etc. All your guilt, hurt, pain, grief, everything gone. Once you validate it. Okay? Therefore, pavitram. Okay? Idam uttamam. Uttamam pavitram. This is the one that really frees you from everything. Pratyakshavagammyam dharma. It is directly available. It is directly available because we are talking about you. There is no indirect knowledge in Vedanta. Any of the books that you read, modern books on the Gita, you will find. First you get indirect knowledge of Brahman from the teacher, then you convert it into direct knowledge. In the white heat of meditation, you will cook this knowledge until it becomes direct. Words can give you direct or indirect knowledge depending upon the object of knowledge. If I are going to talk to you about Gomukh, for those who have not been there, it is indirect knowledge because it's far away from you. Gomukh is not here in Bombay or Calcutta or UK. In the Himalayas. Jana padta hai, far away. Therefore, any words that I use will give you only indirect knowledge. But supposing I was going to talk about this pen, I say here is a pen, simple gel pen, writing pen. Can you get indirect knowledge of this pen? For a pratyaksha vastu, for a vastu that is directly in front of you, you cannot have indirect knowledge. Aproksha vastunaha paroksha jnanam nasti. For an aproksha vastu that is immediate, direct to me, I cannot have paroksha jnanam, indirect knowledge. Gomukh is fine because Gomukh is away from me. Therefore, indirect knowledge. This is right here. There can be nothing more direct than the eye. Therefore, be careful of statements like beyond the mind, etc. That's only focusing one aspect. What is beyond the mind is in the mind also, like space, within and without. If you do not focus on the immanent aspect, you will never get the knowledge.
Can you repeat that? If you don't focus
Immanent. What is in and through everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like outer space, and so right here in my belly there is space. So if I don't focus on the immanent aspect, you'll never understand it. And if it was really beyond everything, no way you will know it. No way you can know it. Teaching will not give it to you. Yes, words will not give it to you. You think meditation will give it to you? Yeah, because I transcend the mind. No? Who transcends the mind? Atma is already beyond the mind. Mind cannot transcend itself. Ahankara is the mind. So Ahankara cannot transcend. So how are you ever going to know the truth? Thank God, everyone knows I am. I am is universal. No. The problem is in what I am. May who, there is no problem. May कौन who, there is a problem. May क्या हूँ also is a problem. Yeah. Therefore, since it is I am directly available as I, Atma is directly available as I, it is pratyaksha avagamam, directly known to me. Directly known to me, pratyaksha avagamam. Dharmyam, this dharmam, this knowledge, pratyaksha avagamam. Susukham kartam avyayam. Susukham kartam. Easy to gain. This avyayam jnanam, okay? Imperishable knowledge, avyayam, non-declinable. Very easy to gain. क्या करने का है? क्लास आने का, सुनने का है ना, और क्या? The teacher has to do all the work. He has to explain it to make you understand. Susukham. Susukham kartam avyayam. How easy it is to get it. Because knowledge. It's not like you have to do 2 hours sadhana every day. Yeah. Then you can say it's difficult. Yeah. Then you can say it's difficult because 2 hours I'm asking you to meditate, I'm asking you to do this, I'm asking you to do that. Purascharan karo, baith ke. Even if you take the shortest one, Om Namah Shivaya, 5 lakh times, you have to chant. 1 saal jayega. You can say it's difficult. Swamiji, so much of work here, there, kya karega, kaisa karega? Correct, understand. Difficult. This is nothing. And sadhana is 24/7, karma yoga buddhi, attitudinal, with respect to however busy you are. Can't be anything easier. That's why some people don't get it. They've already said it should be difficult. It should be difficult. बहुत कुछ करना पड़ता है. Already decided. बहुत तपस करना पड़ता है. और ये क्या महात्मा कुछ खाली बोलता है, talking, nothing else. Yeah, if you are not mature, then you have to do something for your maturity. Correct. To get your mind ready. Adhikaritvam it is called. That also living life gives it to you. How do you think anyone got adhikaritvam? Are you going to get viveka by doing japa? You have to experience life. Thoda maar khane ka idhar udhar. And you have to decide, no yaar, this relationship is not going to give me the fullness I seek. This job is not going to give me the fullness I seek. Money makes my life comfortable but doesn't make me satisfied. No, I have to learn from life. No? Vairagya, objectivity, same thing. You have to cultivate it in life. You think I can go to a slum boy and say, बेटा ये पैसे से कुछ होने वाला नहीं है? What do you think he'll tell me? महाराज जी फिर हमको दे देना, मैं बहुत कुछ करेगा उससे. He's smart. He's smart. You have to learn and learn. Yeah, money can give you a lot of stuff. Not the fullness you seek. Short of that, everything else it can give you. Then you have to understand what money cannot give you also, other things besides that. So all this Viveka, Vairagya, etc. comes by living your life intelligently. No? It is not the number of years that matter. It is how intelligently you have lived that matter. How well you have analyzed life experiences, that's what matters. Samadama, have you heard to train this mind? Yeah, psychological awareness, Samadama. Physical discipline. It's the opposite of that ad. क्या करूँ, कंट्रोल नहीं हो पा रहा है. Some
Lace.
beginner lays or something like that. No one lays is no one can eat just one. Who said you can't eat just one? Of course you can eat. So these are all the things you learn by doing. Na? Titiksha. Live in Bombay, Titiksha automatically comes in. And preferably travel by public transport, even better. Yeah. Even Ola, Uber allowed. Chalo. Titiksha comes in. Shraddha, Samadhana, all that. You learn to have trust in life. Yeah. Shraddha is nothing grand. Shraddha is having trust. The ability to trust that one has to cultivate. Which one had as a child, but one lost growing up. Samadhanam, acceptance of people, etc. Developing some peace here. Come on. Why are you looking to fight all the time? Accept people for over there. But he's such an idiot. Accept him as an idiot. No problems then. Yeah. So all this is gained from life, living intelligently. Yeah. Looking at your experiences and learning from them. You can look backwards also. When you went through some of the experiences, you may not have analyzed them. It was too painful. So now that you put it in the back, there's a perspective about it, analyze it and learn from it. What are the lessons there? That also helps. It is not that we have to get the same experience again to learn. No, look backwards and learn. But we don't look backwards to learn, we look backwards only to regret. I should have done that, I should have done this. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, all that type of thinking comes in. So this is about, maturity is also about life. What are you doing about it? I have anger issues, so I'll do some lot of pranayamas. Pranayamas will help you take care of the reaction. What about the anger inside that you're carrying? 20 years of pranayama is not going to handle that. That has to be handled psychologically, thinking wise. With certain objectivity, with certain vairagya, it has to be handled. Yeah, short-term solutions are there to make it manageable. Go and punch a bag or something like that. That's short-term. So that excessive energy is gone. Now sit down and understand why you are feeling that. That's short-term to make your analysis possible. That's not a solution. That's just immediate reaction management. So, sukham kartum avyayam. The easiest thing in the world. Live a clean life. How does one contrast direct availability with negative terms like avamanasa? What is that? Who has written this? Direct, immediate availability of the self contrasted with what? Somebody typed in something. I couldn't see the typing part. Let's see if I can.
There are also negative terms like avang manasa gochara, which is beyond the reach of thought and words, inconceivable.
Yeah, because it is beyond the reach. Good question. Good question. It is said it is beyond because it is not available for objectification. When you say avang manasa gochara, okay, it is beyond the mind and the speech. When you say that, It means it is not available for description. Walk. Not available for description because it is not an object. Manasa agocharaha, not available for the mind because you can't objectify it as this. You are not knowing the Atma as this, you are knowing it as I. And you already know I am, I exist. The whole teaching is to know what are you. I know I exist, but I don't know I am limitless existence. That has to be supplied. I know I am awareful. I don't know I am limitless consciousness. So these things is where the teaching comes in. You cannot objectify it, that is true. Cannot describe it, it is true. Therefore, teaching is not descriptive. The more descriptive you make it, the more finite you make it. Because description is piling on adjectives. An adjective is meant to separate an object from other things. Kurta, saffron kurta. Now I put an adjective saffron. So all the other colors are gone out of the window. No? So piling up of adjectives make it more and more finite. Therefore a descriptive approach to the Atma will not work. That's why just reading Atma is infinite, divine, supreme bliss. If you follow that statement, you are hooked for life. Infinite you don't know, you know only finite things. Divine, what is divine? What is divine? From agarbattis to what? Divine means what? Supreme, what supreme commander like that supreme you are talking about? Or Lux Supreme, what is it? What does supreme mean? Bliss, the most subjective of all words. Because bliss is highly subjective. Many years ago I was at a Christmas party when single malt just started coming in. So almost 20 years back. So, oh, this is blissful. So I asked someone else, why are you not having it? I don't like the smell only of it. So bliss is also highly subjective. The single malt does not have a strong smell, from what I know. That person didn't even like that smile. Know what to do. It's a highly subjective word. What is blissful for someone is not necessary for them. So you have piled up adjectives. Atma is infinite, divine, supreme bliss. Understanding is nothing. Why? Because descriptive. Another thing. Can I use known words to describe to reveal the Atma? Known words or table, chair, cot. Known words are not going to give you any new knowledge. Then can I use unknown words? Words that you don't know. Gagagugang. What is that? Oh, that's something like Ladorudang. My teacher's example. Unknown words. Yeah, unknown, you're not going to gain anything out of it. So that is why the whole methodology of teaching has come up. Those who have attended my Mahavakya Vichara camp, I explained the whole methodology there of how do you know the self. How known words have to be used in an unknown sense. How each word, because of Samanadikarnyam, etc., has to knock off the limitations of the other words. So there's a methodology. And who uses the methodology? The teacher. What do you have to do? You just have to let your mind go along with the words. Knowledge happens. In an unfolding class, the knowledge will happen. Sukham kartavyam avyayam. Okay. Then he says another statement. Okay. It is not an elite statement, it's a cautionary statement to the teachers, etc. Ashraddhana Purushaha Dharmasyasya Parantapah Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani. Ashraddhana Purushaha Asya Dharmasya Ashraddhana. Those who don't have some basic Shraddha. It's knowledge. Where did Shraddha come into the picture? If it is only knowledge, where does Shraddha come into the picture? The Shraddha that you need to try. The Shraddha that you need to expose yourself to the teaching. The Shraddha that you need to come and stick with the teaching. The Shraddha that you need so that if you are confronted over something or your belief system is challenged, you won't get hurt and walk away. That much Shraddha is necessary. Because this teaching will put your belief systems up, will overhaul your belief systems. So that time you can choose to be defensive and walk away. Therefore, that much Shraddha is necessary. Yeah. The teacher can be a friend, but a friend job is to validate you all the time. That's not the teacher's job. The teacher also has to challenge you, confront you, push you a bit here and there in terms of understanding. Confront belief systems which are not healthy. That time do you have the trust to stick with it and say, hey, that means this can work. Or say, he's an idiot, he's insulting, and walk away. Sadhus are supposed to be kind. This guy is confronting me too much. Yeah, up to you. Therefore he says, Ashraddhana Purushaha Asya Dharmasya Parantapaha. Hey Parantapaha, those who don't have that basic Shraddha, Mam Aprapya Nivartante, they fall back, not knowing me, the reality. Not knowing me, the reality, they fall back. Where will they fall back? Mrityu Samsara Vartmani. Into the Mrityu Samsara they are already in. The Samsara that is characterized by Mrityu. That you are helpless with respect to birth and death. In fact, your sense of finitude and helplessness. You will fall back into that only. Because it's important, this verse. In everyone's life, when you are studying Vedanta, time will come when there is some sort of resistance. Something the teacher says or something you read triggers or something in you. Challenging a belief system or something that you hold as valuable is challenged. Therefore, you can resist. Or don't resist. Accept. That's why that Karma Yoga lifestyle, acceptance, etc. is said so much. Acceptance not by giving up your thinking. No teacher has the right to ask you to give up your thinking. Then it becomes a cult. No. With thinking, with understanding. See why you are resisting some things. Open up and learn. Yeah. Sometimes the teacher may something where you feel hurt. What do you do at that time? Examine why I am feeling hurt or blame the teacher. He hurt me deliberately. और कुछ काम धंधा नहीं है क्या? And to unnecessarily hurt people. A Vedanta teacher is not on an ego trip. And if he is on an ego trip, he is not a Vedanta teacher anyway. So why should he hurt her? He may have made a joke of things to make it lighter. Yeah. Remember the old song? A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, makes the medicine go down. So similarly, you may
Mary
joke.
Poppins.
Huh? Yeah. So you may joke something, you may this thing, but joke also can hurt sometimes. No? Laughter can cut. Or something doesn't fit your belief systems. So that resistance comes up. That is why the value of Shraddha is added. Otherwise there is no need for Shraddha. Why do you need Shraddha? It's a question of knowledge, learn, understand, that's it. But Shraddha comes here, in my emotional life. My Shraddha is supposed to overcome the resistance. My Shraddha is willing to make me open enough for learning. Because this takes some time to validate. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. Gita itself, whole Gita will take almost 3 years. Doesn't happen overnight. No, it's not a catch-22 situation. As long as you can have enough Shraddha to open up and not get hurt and upset, or in spite of getting hurt and upset, be willing to examine, where is the catch-22?
Was first the knowledge or first the Shraddha? That was...
Knowledge is?
First the knowledge or first the Shraddha? I mean, Shraddha is kind of, you're saying that we go with...
Shraddha is one small aspect of the whole qualification that is there. Viveka, Vairagya, clear thinking, all that thing. Then one small aspect is having enough Shraddha so that this part can be handled. It is not a blind belief. It is more the ability to trust. You remember in our Dawn Club workshops, we used to do trust building exercises long back. Why? Because you need to have the trust in life.
I still remember your punch in the stomach.
Yeah. Experience oriented learning, na? Workshops are like that. Yeah. See, lesson well learned. That was 25 years back. Yeah. Lesson well learned. Yeah. See, it's another thing. Okay, a little bit elaborating on Shraddha. I said this before, but for a long time I have not said this. Who's the best manager in the world? Can you remember anyone? Best person to get things done. Shall I tell
Sounds like
you?
a trick.
Huh?
Sounds like a trick question.
It is a trick question.
Swamiji Krishna.
Nope. Someone even better.
Wife.
Huh? Your wife. Good one. Comes pretty close. Yes. A 6-month-old baby. Totally helpless. It wants something, it will cry. You give it what it wants, it will reward you with a smile. Even a tough old man's heart will melt in that smile. So between crying and smiling will make the whole world dance around it. Correct or not? And totally helpless, but totally trusting. It trusts the adult totally. Do you think the baby is doubting when you pick him up? Girayega kya? Will he drop me? Babies get dropped also, no? Rare, but it happens. The baby is not going to doubt whether the hand that lifts me up can hold me. It trusts. Otherwise, if babies are picked up hundreds of times every day, if it is going to doubt every time, what will happen? By the time the baby is 1 year old, he will have a heart attack. Totally trusting. Take a 2-year-old kid, toss him up. He'll laugh. He's not afraid of falling down. He knows uncle will catch me. Total trust. My nephew and nieces, when I was growing up, I must have been 17, 18 that time. They would climb all cupboards, this, that, etc. and says, Mama, and then jump. I have to be very alert to go and grab them before they fall. Made me a good martial artist. The moment I heard Mama, I have to find direction, this, that, placement, sound, where it is, what height, everything, and then catch it. A split second. Totally trusting. This is how all of us were. What happened? Small betrayals. What felt like betrayal. They were not betrayals. Raju said he'll come and play with me, but he went out with his parents. Raju's parents were going to meet her parents, grandparents. So the parents took him, he had to go, he had no choice. But I felt betrayed. He said he'll come in the evening and play, he didn't. Small betrayals. Daddy said he'll get the toy. And I'm feeling sleepy, but Daddy is late, he must have gone to buy the toy. And Daddy comes, Daddy, toy! Beta, my directors had come down. So I couldn't go today. I'll go come get it tomorrow. What is a 2-year-old going to understand about directors and things like that? He only feels betrayed. Daddy promised, but he didn't do. Mummy said he'll make my favorite sweet on Sunday. Sunday the in-laws landed up, both are diabetic. You think Mummy is going to make a sweet? She'll be accused of trying to poison them. We didn't. Felt betrayed. You grew up like this. And then teenagers, first love, this, that, etc. It's nothing but betrayals. Because you're old enough to say I love you, but you're not old enough to keep it. And now here we are as adults. Trust? You're carrying the pain of all that stuff. The more pain you have, the less trust you can have. That's why you find people create movements out of this. All men are dogs. Some people have behaved like that. Yeah, come on. I had the bad fortune of meeting some of them too many. One too many of them. All women are this. Where does it come from? Your pain. Yeah. Caste superiority. From your pain, somewhere you lost a chance at something. Taking away my seat, again the same thing. So unless I deal with this hurt and pain inside me, I will not be able to trust. You mean to say, if you deal with hurt and pain, you will never be cheated in life? Once in a way it will happen. Once in a way it will happen. How often does it happen? But with this, because it's painful, you remember all those small incidences. But sometimes you also, out of helplessness, have done the same thing. No? That 5-year-old Raju went playing with his friend, but I was also dragged like that with my parents and I let him down. No? So all these betrayals, my perception is betrayal. Understand that. Take care of the pain. Even if the betrayal was true, factual. Take care of that pain. Not that you're never going to be cheated again in life. Sometimes it will happen. But you can take care of it, you can handle it. 99% of the time you're not cheated. 1% of the time you may be cheated. Isn't it true? Sometimes I deliberately tried it. Gone to buy vegetables, instead of 100 rupees, I given him a 500 rupee note. Acha bhaiya. Sahab, paisa, aye 500 rupees. Most of them are fine. Yeah, but this time he charged me $10 extra for that bananas. Poor guy is struggling here. We'll fight with our bajiwala for $10 and give a $1,000 tip in a fancy restaurant where those waiters are well paid. This character is struggling for his living. Trust issues. Come on. Yeah. So your whole Shraddha actually comes from the trust. Yeah. You vary. Gurus nowadays you have to be very careful. I accept. Especially the popular ones, you have to be very careful. I accept that. Fine. Then what? So that's why there are certain guidelines given. What type of a guru to go to, etc., etc. Why? Go to a sampradaya with acharya. Go to someone where there is a lineage. You mean there are no bad apples there? Of course there are there. In our own parampara, I whipped someone, literally. Yeah. There are. That will be there everywhere. You think every devotee coming to the teacher is all great people or what? So, these things happen. Yeah. So, if I have the courage to trust, it's important. Trust the Shastra. You trust the person only because you are trusting the Shastra. Really, I am telling you, your trust is to the Shastra, to your Pramana, not to me. I can prove it to you right now. Can you see this beautiful rabbit in my hand? Nice ears. See? Anyone believes it? If anyone says yes, I'll kick him out of the class. Don't want to sit in the class. Okay? Why? Because your surrender is to your eyes, the pramana that tells you this is a phone, not a rabbit. Yeah. So where is your Shraddha to? The pramana, not to the person. Person, because the person happens to be handling the pramana, you trust the person. That means what he says, etc., you'll give him a benefit of doubt and say, maybe right, there must be something in my understanding which I have to fine tune. That's all, only that much. So it all boils down to how much you trust. Trust is always to the Shastra. That's why I always teach the Shastra. I rarely say this is out of my own experience. Sometimes I may share an experience which will illustrate a point that the Shastra has made. Not the other way around. So that's where the whole thing comes. Therefore he says, if you don't have the trust to try to validate it in your life, which is the important thing. Okay, important thing. Then he says, aprapya mam nivartante. Not gaining me. Here me is as the consciousness Krishna is talking about. Okay. Remember, standpoint always Krishna, Ishvara, consciousness. This is the standpoint always in the Gita. Therefore, mam aprapya. Nivartante. He falls again. He retreats. Where will he retreat into? To where he was before. Where is that? Mrityu samsara. Vartmani. Samsara that is characterized by death, he says. Death meaning change. Small moment to moment deaths, like, you don't like because the mind is used to something and it wants to continue. Any change is resistant. Unless you are initiating the change yourself. Even then, before you initiate the change, you will think 10 times. Well, that's why they say a known devil is better than an unknown angel. At least you know you are comfortable here. You have worked out your area of comfort. Now to change that, if you know how resistant it is, just put your hands together right now. Put your hands together. Okay? Is your left thumb on top or right thumb on top? Just notice that. And switch it around. Switch it around. Put it the other way around. Are you comfortable? All is this much. Only this much it has happened, right? But this makes you uncomfortable. Why? Because you're used to this. I am not used to this. I am used to my nice samsara. It's miserable. But I am in a nice rut. And I am happy in my rut. And now the whole thing is going to be changed. Get out of the rut. You have to. The rut is going on nicely, no? How much we are creatures of habit. That's why certain sadhanas like pilgrimage and all were given. Right? I am used to coffee. Yeah. Try coffee in Gujarat. They'll give you coffee with chai masala inside. Go to Rameshwaram and the Gujarati wants his tea. If क्या फिकी चाय है इसको. That's how they drink tea there. So nowadays they're smart. I'm carrying my Girnar masala chai with me wherever I go. So that whole thing about the is to get out of your comfort zone. Because to knock out that resistance that is there to change. Then uska baat to, once you can do that, it is smooth flow, I'm telling you. Not difficult at all. Then the next 3 verses go together. Okay? It's beautiful. The height of the knowledge is that Rajavidya Rajabuddhyam is there in the next 3 verses. Okay? You know, God is in me, the divine spark, etc. All that he turns it around and said. Okay? Which we will see next class, okay? Good place to stop. There is the background necessary. Next class we'll see it.